So let's have a look at a typical structure and how this might come together. Now, say we're going to go out and we're going to buy 3 properties. We'd actually set up 3 companies with 3 discretionary trusts and put those properties one in each. Why would we do that? Because there's a golden rule here that says, whatever you group together dies together. Whatever you group together dies together. Now, what that means is that if you have an action against anything in one trust, if there's an action directly against the trust, then everything you've got in there is up for grabs. It'll still protect your home and other things that you may not have in the trust, but it's better off to separate out the assets across different structures. The ownership of the shares in the company, I like them to be held in a separate trust as well. This kind of trust, I call it discretionary. It is a discretionary trust, but I call it a piggy bank trust. That's not a real name. It's just a name I made up. But it's your ultimate piggy bank. It owns everything indirectly, but nothing directly. I'll explain that a little bit more as we get down the track. And then you've got a company that, if you were in business, you'd set up a separate structure over there with a company and a discretionary trust underneath it. If you're not in business, you don't need that structure. As time goes by, you're able to use this structure really, really efficiently for tax. It's one of the greatest and most flexible tax structures you're going to have. And when your whole structure earns more than 30 cents in the dollar tax bracket, then you'll set up what we've got there is a bucket company. It pays tax at 30 cents in the dollar after superannuation and everything else has been taken out, and lends money across to other structures to go and buy more property. Isn't that a sexy depiction there of how it all comes together? If structures can be sexy. Well, it certainly is to an accountant anyway. Now look, it might look complicated, but it's actually not. Bear with me. It's something I will teach you more and more about. It's something you absolutely have to know, and you're going to need to start understanding this stuff if you're going to start to get ahead in real estate, or in business for that matter. It is vital. It is part of our society. We have to know this, and this is why I really want to take the opportunity just to give you a little bit of a snippet, a little bit of an understanding before I get you at the webinar, so I can take you so much further and I can teach you actual property skills at the webinar. We don't have to focus on some of this preliminary stuff. Okay, does it look complicated? Is it complicated? Look, it might look it, but it's not. It's actually very simple once you get your head around it. And I know I've gone through things really quickly there, but trust me, I will teach you more on this, and it will become simple. If you're hearing this for the first time, you're going, oh my God. But if you've heard it 2 or 3 times in the past and you've been with me for a while, you'll understand that it's just what you have to do. And the more you know, the more you're going to love it. Is it costly? You know what? It's not. It's not costly. It won't cost you any more than it will buying more properties and having more property schedules to do in your own tax return anyway. And it does protect those assets. I mean, just having the structures set up, it might cost you $1,000 or $2,000, but what are you protecting? You're protecting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of property. So that's where it's absolutely essential. Do you need to know more than this? Absolutely. This is just a little snippet. It's the tip of the iceberg. You've got to know how to protect your assets that you've bought in the past, that you've bought in your own name. That can be done, but I've got to teach you that stuff. How to structure other types of investment into the future, and how to really build those property portfolios safely so that no one can take them away from you.